A man of great poise and respect, Reverend William Bill Lawson often gave pause and prayed over turbulent times, from the front lines of the civil rights movement of the 1960s to the racial reckoning of summer 2020.
And I see you determined not simply to have 3 officers prosecuted, but to change the life of these United States.
He was often a voice of inspiration at times of distress in our lives. It was who Reverend Bill Lawson was, a man of peace and a man of faith. Lawson arrived in Houston after seminary school.
I came here in August of 1955. Things were beginning to boil in the South at that time. A young man named Emmett Till had been lynched in Mississippi. That was on the day that I came.
He served as the director of the Baptist Student Union and a professor at Texas Southern University. It wasn't long before he founded and opened nearby Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. Lawson and 12 others opened the doors of the small white church among the pines. The year was 1962. John Kennedy was in the White House. The civil rights movement was spreading. In Houston, Lawson raised money to bail out his students unjustly arrested for taking part in lunch counter sit-ins protesting segregation. He quickly found himself at the forefront of integrating Houston, even hosting Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I had never met him before, but when he wanted to come to Houston, I said, well, if other churches will not welcome you, I will.
Lawson continued to champion civil rights and social justice reform through the years.
If 4 policemen had been beating an animal on the street that day, some onlooker would have made them stop. The verdict was wrong.
He ushered in positive change decade after decade.
This is a church that did intend from its very outset to have some influence on the neighborhoods around it.
The Reverend turned abandoned apartments into homes for the homeless, reached out to the hungry, and orchestrated proper legal representation for the poor and people of color, establishing Harris County's Public Defender's Office.
Wonderful sermon. Thank you so much.
He did so crossing color lines, political affiliations, and religions.
I am part of a trio called the Three Amigos. There is a Catholic archbishop. He's white. There is a Jewish rabbi, he's white. And there's me, 3 different faiths and 2 different races. My hope is that we will move closer and closer toward that kind of diversity.
Reverend Lawson retired from the church in 2005 and became the pastor emeritus of Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. His health declined, but his mind and memory remained sharp despite left lobe epilepsy. He brought his condition to my attention after his thoughtful reflections on the Derek Chauvin trial.
You yourself joined thousands in downtown Houston at a march and rally for George Floyd. Did that moment make all the difference, Reverend Lawson?
I think certainly we are now beginning to see that the power is not with the police or with government. The power is with the people. If there is any kind of real legacy that I would want to see, it is a legacy that moves from the old-fashioned white versus black versus minority. My hope is that we will be more like a family.